Hi there, glad to see you. I'm Sarah and I'm going to run you through everything I read in July. So the first book I read is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This book is about a girl named Pip and she is investigating a murder and a suicide that happened 5 years ago. She is doing this for a school project and along the way she is meeting some new people and discovering everything that actually went down 5 years ago. I truly enjoyed reading this one. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars, so I would really recommend you to read this one. Next up we have Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is the follow-up in the series by Holly Jackson. And this one I ended up giving 3.5 stars. In this one, Pip investigates the disappearance of a brother of one of her friends, which was also quite entertaining, but a little less so than the previous one. And then I read As Good as Dead, which is the third book in this trilogy. This one got a 4 stars from me, eventually because it was quite different. It takes a different turn, but I will leave that up to you to discover if you haven't read this series yet. And then Holly Jackson also wrote a prequel to the series, which is Killjoy. This is actually just a novella, so it's quite thin. It is fun to read if you have read the 3 main books in this trilogy. And I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars because it was quite cute, but nothing really spectacular. The 5th book I read is Reckless, which is written by Lauren Roberts, and Reckless is the second book in a supposed trilogy. The third one still has to come out, and the first book was Powerless. Now, I didn't like Powerless, so I was not really expecting a lot from Reckless. I ended up giving this one 1.5 star. I still did not like it. I gave it half a star more than I gave Powerless because Lauren Roberts did pick up on some things, I think some tips or suggestions that she has gotten, but still this one wasn't for me. Next I read Long Shadow by Olivia Atwater. Long Shadow is the third book in the Fairy Regency series. This one is about Abigail, who is investigating some murders that have occurred, mysterious deaths and how they are connected to the fairy world. I gave this one 3.5 stars, which is quite good for a cozy fantasy, as I am not really into cozy fantasies. But I did like this one because it went a bit darker than the other ones did. Book number 7 is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. This is a thriller about the disappearance of a young girl, and we have flashes from the time when she disappeared, and then we have flashes from 10 years later, especially about her mom and how she is dealing with it, with the disappearance of her daughter and what is going on in the now of things. And her mother actually meets a man, and this man somehow seems to be connected to the disappearance of her daughter, and this is what this one goes into. I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. It is an easy read, it is quite a fun read, it's a bit mellow, I think, for me. Next I read Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. This one is also about a disappearance, several disappearances actually. In this one, 2 adult women and 1 little girl go missing, and then 11 years later, certain things come to pass. The little girl returns, and of course that is an offset to investigate what happened all those years ago, what actually happened to everyone that went missing at that time. I did enjoy this one for the most part, but the ending got me down because the ending felt too rushed. So I was really enjoying this one. This was going to be a 4.5 star read, but I had to give it a 3.5 star just because of the ending. The last book I read was Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. This was a really intense book to read. It has a lot of trigger warnings, things like violence and rape. Please don't go into this without any warning. It is really quite heavy. So if you are not certain that you can take it, please don't. But if you are, and if you want to give this a go, I really think you will enjoy it, because it was written quite well, and it is very intense. The feelings that the people are going through as well. It is actually about a girl that went missing 20 years ago, and it is happening in the now, about what is happening to the two sisters of the girl that went missing and how they are dealing with their grief. And then one of the sisters, her husband gets murdered, and that leads to certain discoveries about his life and what he has to do with the disappearance of the sister 20 years ago. I gave this one 4 stars. I enjoyed it, but once again, you have to be able to take some gore. So this was my July. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a like, subscribe, or comment if you do not agree or do agree with anything I told you in this video. And I hope to see you soon. Bye!